Hey guys, all right, I think this is working. I wanted to pop in real quick. I'm working here on this week's episode, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about what it's going to be about. So, you may have seen me pop onto the live stream here in the last few days, or last night especially. I was testing it and trying to get everything set up. I think I have it all right now, so I'm going to do a real update this time and not just a, hey, I don't know what I'm doing and here I am. So this week on the show, I talked with Dr. BJ Miller. And if you haven't come across BJ yet, he is terrific. And I'm going to put in the links here, his TED Talk. It's got like 11 million views on the TED platform, and I assume more if you count, I don't know, YouTube or whatever. Anyway, he's a hospice and palliative care physician, and he has worked with patients and caregivers and families in situations of serious illness and terminal illness and hospice patients for many, many years. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what I wanted to ask him and how I wanted to frame the discussion, because he's got a lot of good practical information. For example, he's got this, you can see this book. It's called A Beginner's Guide to the End, which I would say is a mix of practical information and sort of philosophical, for lack of a better word. I don't know, kind of thinking about life and death, as well as a mixture of practical stuff. So there's that. But I didn't want the discussion just to be about his book. He's also got a terrific news service called Mettle Health, and I'll put the link in the notes as well as soon as I finish recording here. So if you know anybody who is facing a serious or a terminal illness in their family, I would encourage you to check that out. And the TED Talk, I'll put the link in there too, and please do share that because I do think he's got a really important message. So I spent a lot of time thinking about what to ask him and how to frame this discussion, because I have listeners, of course, who are widowed parents. Those are primarily my listeners. People who've, all had a significant loss, by definition, if they're a widowed parent. I also increasingly have listeners who are writing to me and saying, I'm not a widowed parent quite yet, but my spouse has this terminal diagnosis and, this is going to be coming, and I'm starting to listen to your podcast to get some resources. So I thought about, because, whenever I'm doing an interview with a guest, I always envision myself standing in the place of my listeners. Like, I am here representing all of them and asking questions on their behalf, asking questions of my guest. And I thought, what should I really ask on your behalf? And so I just started right out and I said, BJ, I'm going to start out with my number one question, which is, what do you think the dying have to teach those of us who are still alive? So on Wednesday, listen, I'm working on it right now, getting the editing, getting everything ready to go. Look out for that on Wednesday. We of course go on after that to talk about lots of other things related to this topic, his experience as a hospice and palliative care physician. What is the difference between hospice and palliative care? What should people know? How can both of those aspects of medical care be helpful and bring resources to families? So I don't know. I could keep going on and on. I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to hope that this is on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and on my website. I pulled up a separate window here to check that it's on my website, because the other day that didn't seem to be working, and now it seems to be working. I think there was just a delay. And if this works, I'm going to be able to archive this on my playlist on my YouTube channel, so this can be something people can find later. So anyway, I'm going to get back to work here on the editing. Got a lot to do to get everything just right, and look for it on Wednesday. All right, see ya.